I'm Nick from Kaiser Chiefs.
Hello, I'm Simon. I'm in Kaiser Chiefs 2, and we are about to lead you through our new album, which is called
Off with their heads. Track 1, Spanish Metal.
Track 1, Spanish Metal.
Track 1, Spanish Metal. This is a song that we didn't always... No,
I think we wrote this song, or most of it, in the rehearsal room in Leeds. It's called Old Chapel, which is where we write lots of songs.
If you remember though, it started in a sound check with Whitey. Whitey played it, this big, I think it was at Earl's Court. And down, 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 down. And then Peanut started doing this. Doo-doo, doo-doo. And I had a tape of it and just listened to it for ages and thought, actually I was looking through this recording on my dictaphone just to see what we had, and I found that out of the blue. No, actually it was because we had our sound engineer started to record all our sound checks, which is really good because we had new songs. And then I was going through all those CDs and found that. I thought that was really good. And then I went away and wrote this verse that I thought was quite a lot more complicated than all other stuff because it never repeats. It just starts and then goes up and goes somewhere else and then somewhere else and then somewhere else. And there's no chorus. It's like the opposite of a Kaiser Chiefs song.
So the second song on the album, which the first song on the album, it kind of leads into it, and it is Never Miss a Beat, which is the first single.
It was started to be written on the 15th. In fact, here's an interesting fact for you. I was at the Klaxons party for their Mercury Prize last year, and one of my friends, Tom, said at one point, "Oh, I never miss a beat, me." I went, "Oh, that's good." I put that in my phone. Never miss a beat. Remember that. And then a while later, we were off to the Leeds United Legends Dinner. This is 12 months ago, almost precisely. And just before I left the house, this bass line appeared into my head, and I started playing it and recording it, and then I came up with that. It's cool to know nothing as well. And then went into the rehearsal room and finished it all off and put the Never Miss a Beat bit in.
Track 3 on Off With Their Heads is Like It Too Much. And last October, we took a week, went to our rehearsal room and wrote 3 songs, which were Never Miss a Beat, A New Want History, and Like It Too Much. And they were also the 3 songs that we recorded first with Mark Ronson and Elliot when we kind of were testing out their production skills. And it features some strings by David Arnold, because we'd done some things with him before for the Electric Proms, and he'd always said if there's anything we wanted him to do or anything could be involved in, he'd love to, because he really enjoyed it, and he said it was the best night of his life. And so at some point, I think he was doing the Bond theme, and he came in the studio and we were like, why don't you have a go at doing something with this song? Is that right?
Yeah, he did it for free as well.
Track 4 is You Want History.
People have started to sing the riff from this, which I love. I love it when the crowd sings riffs. And the album's only been out a day when we first got people singing the riff, which is good. Track 5, Can't Say What I Mean.
What do you know about Cant Say?
Try to think of interesting facts though, as opposed to boring information.
This song, when we recorded it, we had it, I think, completely finished, and we had played it at our gig at Ellen Road in May last year. That was the only time I think we played it, and the only time we played it live. And then one day after dinner, we decided we were going to have a play of it and see what Mark and Elliot thought. So we played it, and it sounded brilliant straight away, and they loved it, and they loved the kind of atmosphere and the kind of rawness of all of us doing it together, and
they didn't really have time to set anything up.
We just did it there and then as it was, and did it like 3 times, just as we do on stage every night, and just tried to keep the energy that we had in the song. And that
was it. And then Mark was going crazy, and we all had our heads down playing, and then we looked over into the control room and he was dancing with his top off. And that is producing. Track 6, Good Days, Bad Days.
This is one of the Kaiser Chiefs band favourite songs on the record. And we had the riff. It was we were in Old Chapel, I was playing drums, Whitey was playing bass, a nice telly bass, that was a cool bass, and Nick was playing guitar,
No, I was playing.
keyboards, something else.
Oh, I was, yeah, that's right, yeah.
And we were just messing about, and then
Well,
Whitey
maybe I
had
was playing
that
keyboards.
bass riff, and
Yeah, that was good.
we were playing it for ages and ages, and we liked it, like the groove of it, and then we swapped round to our own instruments. We played it a few more times, and we added the keyboards and some of the stuff, but we'd never had the vocal melody really. We just had it. We knew we liked it. We knew we wanted to put it on the album, but we never worked out what it was going to be like when it was finished. Until literally
it was
2 weeks before we finished doing the album.
Oh, a lot nearer than that. It was like 2 days. I think it was the Wednesday and we finished on the Friday.
Track 7 on our album is Tomato in the Rain, and I think a lot of people find the title really interesting, and I think that was just that one sentence was the thing that made all the lyrics, because Nick wrote Tomato in the Rain, I think, and
like
then
a tomato in the rain, I got that feeling again.
Ricky then went away and wrote all the rest of the lyrics kind of about that.
It's got a lot of imagery in it. It's one of those imaginary songs, and it's got a very laid back, relaxed 60s Beach Boys sort of feel to it. Nice harmonies. What would I say that was an interesting fact about it? Right, just
did you use that drum kit?
bear with me.
Funky
Yeah,
kit?
it's not that interesting.
Wasn't it somebody's?
No, it wasn't anybody's.
What
Right,
did whose
gonna
kit did
think
we
now.
get told it was?
Ringo's.
We got told it was Ringo Starr's kit, but it turned out not to be.
Oh, yeah, it's a shame.
The next song on the album is Half the Truth. This is one of my favourite songs on the album. It features Sway at the end, actually throughout. And we started doing that song in Iraq, and we had the kind of chorus and the Take My Money bit, and we were struggling slightly with exactly how to make it into a song, and played it round and round and round, and then Mark had this kind of drum beat idea that he was trying to teach Nick, which Nick, did you eventually copy it or did you make your own up? Or?
No, I copied it.
So it's Mark Ronson's drum beat, and it kind of just grew from there. Whitey's got
I
that
couldn't
cool
work out whether it
guitar
was
riff.
Mark or Elliot's.
Alright. A producer's drum
One of the two.
beat
Um,
pattern.
Half the Truth. I'm going to think of something really, really interesting now. Oh yeah, the words. This was interesting, the way we got the words, because we knew there were so many in each verse, because it's incessant sort of, and for the first few weeks we were just going, because we didn't have any words, and we'd record take of all these takes that we were doing as the band, all the band takes, but all the time Ricky was recording guide vocals so that we could play along to. And we went back about 3 weeks later and knew this was going to be one of the worst jobs of the whole session. Going back through every single take, which was loads, just to get every single line that might be good, or something we could use, and half of it was total nonsense. And then we started to form it into this sort of, into a sort of narrative all about something, which I'm not telling you what it is, but. And then when we went to the other studio, we'd go into the vocal booth, and I'd go into the vocal booth, and we'd just sort of take it in turns to make up stuff and see if anything, like really try to get into like making up loads of crap. And then finally, wrote it all down and made it all make sense to us, but I don't know that it makes sense to anybody else. Track 9 is Always Happens Like That. This was interesting because we went into the new studio, East Coast, after being in Iraq for a few weeks. Went into that studio and we had in mind to record some songs that we'd already written. And then White was playing this thing, ding, 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 on the piano. And we just picked up on it. And then it grew up from that. And then we were all playing different instruments again. Pardon me. And then, so it started with Whitey, which is good. Track 10, Addicted to Drugs. This is a song. This is version 2 of the 2 versions that we did. One, somewhere there is a slow, rather melancholy version. And then I walked into the studio one day, and there was more slowness being added to it. And I suddenly went, oh, this is terrible. And I think everyone sort of realised that
I think
gone too far down this very slow.
The version we've got, I think, is better, and better to play live and more anthemic, and it's got a great kind of for me, a bass line in the chorus, which is kind of somewhere between The Cribs and White Lies.
I thought it was quite like the Cribs because I sang it first on this acoustic guitar. You might as well face it, you're addicted to drugs, like that, kind of slightly, like that, rocking it like that. I'd like to hear the Cribs version.
So the last song on our album is called Remember You're a Girl, and Nick sings it, so he's going to tell you all about it.
I sing it, I'm going to tell you all about it. Well, we started playing it in the rehearsal room, and I thought, oh, this is good, and Peanut was playing the drums, and Simon was playing the bass. Did you play double bass on this in the end?
No, I didn't in the end, but I played it something similar, but yes.
And it started off as a little song I was going to sing, much like Boxing Champ on the last album, and then it kind of gathered a bit of pace, really, and then everybody added a bit to it, so then it became a proper song, really, I think. And we extended it slightly. I wrote another verse just to make it into a real song. It's only 2 minutes, but and it was the last song because why is it last song? It sends you to sleep in a good way.
I think on the album, as Spanish Metal starts it and Remember Your Girl ends it, and they kind of both songs are slightly shorter than some, a proper song, if there is such a thing. I think they're kind of like the intro and the outro of the album, and I think they make it complete.
I want it to have a feel of a night out. So it starts with excitement, and then you peak, and then you go home, and then you go to bed, and then you fall asleep, and it's like that. It's a night out album. Okay, that was our track by track. Thank you very much for listening and watching.
Have a good night.
Bye.